about a third of the horses went clear in the show jumping, which was showing how the standard has risen over the years. This is my third year here, and each year it's, of course, it's got a little bit more significantly bigger. But when you look around and you see this arena, this is the big problem compared with badminton and Rolex, anywhere else. It's so up and down. And it really does make a difference in here, how the horses jump. So that's my main concern. Then I'm faced with, like here you can see where we had the cross-country jumps yesterday, which tears up the footing. There's a very sacred piece of ground which stands right behind us, and that's been there for the last 50 years, and God forbid I put a jump close to that. And then over on the other side you just had where they did the trot up and the dressage arena. So this is not the easiest of all arenas to build in, so it really takes where you go. But we'll take a quick walk around. Of course, designer, you want to wheel it nicely, but this is the first major problem because you're coming away from the in-gate, horses are backing off, and if you actually go down here, you can see how much you've got quite a bit of rising ground. Now, if this was a regular horse show, our regular Grand Prix riders would be a bit more concerned than the eventers. Yesterday, lots of fences cross country, you had rising ground going. It's just so the eventing horses are a little more aware of this. But the one thing a show jumping course designer takes into consideration then is the distance up to fall. If this is a flat ground, that would be the gate at 4 would be another 3 feet away, meter away. But because the horses are going uphill, they're on a shorter stride. But the danger is that when they walk the distance, they go, oh God, this is short. Then they underride 3, and then 4 suddenly gets long. So this is the first real question on the course, I think. So this is, I say, 3 foot short. It's going to be 5 strides. Everyone's got to do 5. You see here how much just the cross-country fences. So you always got to watch where you put your jumps, that you stay away from it. Now you've got a distance up to 5. It's not a straight line, so riders can make up their minds whether they want to go direct or stay out and out of stride. This is a little bit between strides, and 5 is quite a substantial fence. So already you had some questions happening there. So when you ride 3, you've got to be thinking of 5. You've got to really need a ride like this as a combination, not as just single fences. You build it, you sit there, and you just ride it through because we have limited time to build, obviously after the cross country. And I had a question on the heights in my triple combination. And that's, I'd go fence 1, I'm okay. Yeah, easy ride to 2, that's okay. 3, 4, 5 is fine. And then, last night I was thinking about 6. And the first thing I did when I came up this morning was went straight to 6 and looked at it. But you go through in your mind, you know what you're looking for. And if it rides smoothly in your mind, it's going to ride, hopefully it's going to ride smoothly for the horses. But no, unlike anything else, we don't get any chance. I mean, you're into it and where you go. And the worst, a regular, like next week I'll be at a Grand Prix or a regular horse show. And you'll be with the horses all week, you have 5 days, building up to the Grand Prix on Sunday. So you get into the rhythm and you get to know the horses better and everything else. Here it's so cold coming in because I've had no warm-up, I haven't done the dressage, I haven't done the cross-country, and I go straight into the show jumping. So that also adds to it. But, being the third year here, I know the field. I said watching the Moonin last week on the internet. So you sort of use that as a sort of guide into it.
Did you ever make...
Basically not on that, more than once. I always walked the cross-country course, and it was a strong course. So... And it's a 4-star. You don't change the dressage test because it's a weak cross country or strong cross country. It's a 4-star. It should be a 4-star. The one unfortunate thing is here, television asks my course plan like a month in advance, so they position the cameras, and that's the worst because once it's done, it's done. And you look at it the following week, and think, oh God, if I could have changed this or done that, but. You get some flexibility. Like the distances, I never, I'll do my track on paper and like it. Then at a later stage, I'll decide whether it's going to be a 5 strides, 6 strides, 7 strides. And a lot of that will also affect when you get here and build, come up here and think, oh God, if it's one stride shorter, you know, the dressage line's maybe in the way, or there's a dip in front of it. So you vary that a little bit. And the same with the lines. Initially on paper, this combination came more this way, across here. But if I did that where the cross-country jump was going to be right in the way. So you tweak it that way.
You did have...
It depends, say, coming up the line, the riders have got to decide what they're going to do here. It's quite wide, and you sit some brush in the middle, which will make the horses look into it. So you've got many factors going on, you know, jumping into the stand. And I think this could be a fairly influential course early on. Fence fairly on in the course. And we've got the triple combination, and as you see here, we're going uphill. This is one finding flat ground, and the only place really is really up on the top, and I've had it up there for 2 years. So I wanted it to be a bit more different, a little variation. But because it's uphill, I've only actually got one oxer in it. If it's two oxers, by the spread fences, that comes going up the hill, if the horses are backing off, it becomes very difficult. And again, if this was on level ground, there'd be another at least 6 inches between each fence. So you adjust with that. But because I've done 2 verticals here, you see 7 further on now becomes an oxer. But they've got enough room, if they get a little back off going up the hill, they've got enough strides then to get themselves going again. Yep. Yes.
You're too good. You're too good. Which is the one that you needed fixing? Well, the man is in the arena, so I'll bring him over. You're good.
Because what looked like just an ordinary ox as we came walking up the hill, you see there's an added dimension. We have the water tray underneath it. Obviously the horses are not going to see that until they get here, so now you've got another factor coming in. They're going to come up and think, okay, it's a nice jump. And despite the fact that, you know, they jumped ditches and water yesterday on the cross country, it's still enough for them to look into. But the striding up here should be just a nice striding. I haven't tried to be tricky with the distance like I did on this line. Just let the jump itself be the problem. We see the times I can hear, well, perhaps we can add a stride in here or not. Morning. And, but as you say, you're still walking, and it's every multiple of 4 is a horse stride. Thank you. This is basically your tallest jump on the course, and particularly it looks taller because it's on the highest bit of the ground, so when you come up to it, really looks imposing.
And how high is this one, Richard?
A metre 30.
Is that the maximum?
The basic height of this is a metre 25, but we're allowed a 5 metre tolerance for the ground conditions.
Right.
And sometimes we take a little advantage of that on the odd fences. So being a 4-star and at this level, we haven't cheated. I mean, it's a legal fence, but it's really at its maximum that we can be.